Last of Us Season 2, Episode 1. We're back. And I never played the games. I've seen playthroughs, so I know what happens or what hasn't happened yet. But I still enjoy it for what it is. I know the games have a lot of controversy around them, but I'm not here to talk about that. I'm just here to talk about the show, just my thoughts on it, like a little spoiler recap of the first episode. So yeah, episode starts with, of course, a recap of last season, and it starts with the scene at the end of the last season where Ellie asks Joel to promise that everything he said was true about the Fireflies and what he told her. And then it skips 5 years later. Joel, Pedro Pascal, of course, and Bella Ramsey as Ellie. 5 years later, Ellie's 19 now. She's doing like fight training, gun training. She's going out doing expeditions and stuff, scout missions, whatnot. And Joel is struggling because him and Ellie are not in a good way at this point in time. I think Ellie feels that Joel's a little too overbearing. He's not even her real dad, the father figure. But I mean, it could just be her age too. When we were 19, we were trying to prove to everyone that, we're adults. You don't have to baby us. We can be independent. We can do things on our own. And I think that's what she's trying to prove to Joel. Because Joel will, like, there was a scene with Tommy, played by Diego Luna, where Tommy says to Ellie that she can't come to the next expedition because Joel's worried about her. And of course that makes her mad because she wants to prove that she doesn't need Joel. She doesn't need him. She can be her own independent person. I do think they're playing the rebellious teen thing a little too heavy. Like, I get it, but I think, and it's not Bella Ramsey's fault, it's the writing. But I think, they're just hamming it a little too hard, making her seem like she's annoying and whiny, which is not really what you want. But again, she also is 19 and she's young, so like, we weren't perfect human beings at 19. And I know a lot of people expect like television and movies to show perfection and whatnot, and not actually show real human, and not show how humans really act. Joel is also in therapy. The therapist is played by Catherine O'Hara. The therapist's name is Gail. So he's in therapy. Basically, from what I've seen, it seems like he's just been complaining about Ellie. They've had 5 sessions as of this episode. And from what she said, Joel just keeps bringing up Ellie. Being like, I'm trying this and this and this. She still doesn't talk to me. I'm trying this and this. She still doesn't, whatnot. And the therapist is even like, oh, dude, this is boring. Like, and it's funny, he pays her in weed. He's like, gave her a little bag of weed, and she was like, what is little nubs and stuff? Like, what is this, high school? So Joel's in therapy. The therapist at one point in the scene goes, you killed my husband, Eugene, which it's something that happened off screen. They haven't really shown it yet, so I'm guessing they're going to show that later. And she basically says, like, you killed my husband. I know you kind of had to, but I resent you for it. And then after she says that, she's like, now that that's out in the open, let's try to work on this stuff a little more. The scene ends. This is all out of order, by the way. This is not the sequence that it goes in. I'm just kind of spitballing what comes to mind. But then the next scene that I can think of is Abby being introduced, played by Caitlin Dever. And no, she's not like 200 pounds of pure muscle. With the right strategy, doesn't matter how scrawny you look, you can take someone down. And if you play the game, obviously you know what happens between Abby and Joel and what Joel did to Abby. And obviously after the first episode, they're clearly not gonna kill off Joel instantly. They'll probably wait for the end of the season, start of the next one maybe, because I heard that the second game is seasons 2 and 3. So they might be saving that for the next season and then just ending the show there. Or apparently they're not doing The Last of Us 3, so maybe they'll just keep doing the show instead of making the game. Abby's got a group with her. I don't really know who these people are. I'm guessing they're just other kids of people that Joel's murdered or something, but got a little posse with her, and they're traveling to go find Joel. And she wants to kill him, and in her words, she wants to kill him slowly. So we'll see what happens when they meet up. And in the second half, Ellie and Dina which we were introduced to earlier in the episode, played by Isabella Merced, who is also going to be Hawk Girl coming up in the Superman movie. So Dina and Ellie are basically like pretty good friends. I don't know if they're like best friends, but they're pretty good friends. They go out on an expedition together. Ellie manages to convince Tommy to let her go and to ignore Joel. And then Ellie and Dina run off because, they're going to do their own thing. They end up in this grocery store where Ellie gets stalked by a intelligence infected, one that thinks is not so mindless. Like it crawls around on the floor, it stalks Ellie, it like peeks around corners and stuff. It like makes noises to throw you off and stuff. So she runs into that thing attacks her. She manages to kill it before getting bit though, but she's immune, so it doesn't matter. But she has to hide it because Dina comes in right afterwards, so she has to hide the bite. They go back, update the council or whatever about what they saw. There was like a party going on one of the nights, and Ellie and Dina go. Dina's dancing with this other guy for a bit before she ends up going and getting Ellie, and they dance together, and they end up kissing each other because they're obviously into each other. These other dudes, make comments, of course, make some comments, calls them dykes. Ellie's about to, she's like, "What the fuck did you just say?" And then Joel comes in, shoves the dude to the floor. Ellie gets mad. She's like, "I don't need you anymore." Like, she yells at him, she's like, "I don't need you anymore. I don't need you to protect me. I don't need you around." And Joel obviously, hurt. It's just like, fine. He leaves. So yeah, a lot of tension. It's a pretty slow burn episode. Not much action. Mainly about setting up the tension between Joel and Ellie, because Ellie doesn't know yet that Joel lied to her. I'm sure she has her suspicions, and that's probably another reason why she's also mad. Is when you find out your purpose in life is to save humanity, basically, and then Joel, out of his own selfishness and his own wants and needs, takes that away from you and then lies to you about it. So then when she does actually find out in the show, it's going to be even worse. But anyway, Last of Us, it's good. It's a good show. Everyone jokes about Neil Druckmann and the games and whatnot, but it's a good show. It's HBO. They got good quality stuff. And the end of the episode, these people are like shooting off sparklers and stuff, and this person drops theirs down. They have these like sewage pipes running through the town they live in, and they're all filled with the fungus that turn everyone into zombies. And this person drops a sparkler in front of the tube, and the vines start going all like, they start moving towards it. So that's clearly going to attract a horde of zombies to show up. I'm going to make a theory for next week's episode, and I'm going to see if it's true. That's how the episode ends. Abby and her group on top of a mountain. They see the base where Joel and Ellie live, and they're like, "All right, let's go." And that's how the episode ends. But next episode, I'm guessing when Abby gets there with her crew, they might run into Joel. They'll attempt to kill him. It won't work. And then the thing with the sparkler and the zombies, I think a horde of zombies is going to show up, and Joel and Ellie are going to escape. It's going to be a cat and mouse game for the rest of the season. So the end of the season where Joel ultimately dies, or next season he'll die in the beginning or at the end. I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe they just don't kill Joel at all. Maybe they just wheel it back. Last of Us off to a good start. Slow burn, like I said, first episode, but sure from here it's gonna get crazy. So yeah, that's my review. My thoughts on the episode, spoiler thoughts, and yeah, I'll definitely upload my episode next week. I'll try to do it the night the episode comes out, so it's more relevant. But anyway, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell. Peace.